Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's your host, Tidy Jester. We're going to be playing a game called Toyko Sidekick. So look at the size of this box. It's mammoth. Unfortunately, the reason this box is so big is because the board is so freaking big. It's huge board. So, yeah, it takes up a lot of space on the table. So we're going to have to kind of squeeze everything together. To be honest, there's absolutely zero need for the board to be this big, other than you're trying to make it look really impressive. I don't know. But that's what Japanese companies, that's what Japanese, they're kind of their motif when they design things. I don't know. It's just crazy. But we're going to try it and see what it's like and give you an overview. So what is a Toyko Sidekick? So if we're going to talk about an overview, what is an overview? It's a superheroes game where you take a hero and a sidekick. Notice the Toyko Sidekick. And you combine those two together and you try to complete missions and defeat villains. And as you defeat villains, they get sent to the asylum. Once the asylum fills up, then you get master villains that'll show up, and you have to defeat them. And then when you send them to the asylum, then finally the big boss at the very end, the nemesis, will come out after you. So you are doing things with your cards. You're going to be doing things with your cards, and you have three different kinds of cards. You have power cards. You have concentration cards, and you have speed cards. And so you got three different colors, and what you're trying to do is some deck building to try and make your deck bigger and better as you complete different objectives, so you can kill some of the bigger and better enemies. But there's timers in this game to force you to do things and try to level up. And yeah, so that's kind of just broad overview strokes. If you're very familiar with, say like Arkham Horror, where a character takes a turn, does their things, and then the game works against them, and then another player takes a turn and then does their thing, and then the game works against you, and you're going through that whole process. So playing solo is no different than playing with 3 or 4 people. Other than how many characters you're going to have to ultimately control and try and get around the board to do things. Alright, so with all that said, we're going to finish setup. We're going to kind of go over a few more things, and then we'll get started, and we'll see how it goes. Toyko Sidekick. You know I love my superhero games. Obviously, number one game of all time was what? Sentinels of the Multiverse, right? I can literally reach under my desk here, and I have 3, 4, 5 boxes of Sentinels of the Multiverse sitting here, right here. I also, love Marvel Champions, one of number 2 game of all time. So, I love my superhero games with lots of different characters. In this game, you have 10 heroes and 10 sidekicks that you can combine and do different things. Each of the heroes, again, has their own special ability and their own special powers. You have a level up mechanic in this game where each hero has a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3 power. So it sounds to me like this is, right up my alley. So we're going to give it a try and see how it goes. Alright, so that's the overhead view. Unfortunately, let me see if I can try to get a little bit more. Let's see if the camera's zoomed in between. I don't think it. Oh, yeah, I did. All right, so maybe the camera. Alright, so down here will be character 1, down here will be character 2. This is the player board. Again, there is several other boards that I'm not using because of all the wasted space on this board and how big this board is. So you have this board here, which we're not using, which you're supposed to stack all these extra cards on that also give you like your upgrades that you can use to spend your cards, to spend your experience points on. So we're not going to be using this board, which I think is just a big, like just takes up more space for no reason. So I squeezed the cards that was go on here over here. So obviously those cards are just kind of just generically there. Each player is supposed to have their own player board. So this way you can keep track of how much experience you have. You can look at all the different abilities that you can do. And then when you take your turn, you can draw your 5 cards and put your 5 cards out in front of you for some reason. So you can show everyone else what cards you have. Although you may be able to draw more cards, so if you draw extra cards, then you're just supposed to put it next to this thing. So why even have this? This seems like very generic and very stupid again. I would have to say overall, the production of this game is pretty poor in design and aspects. Again, it does seem like it's a game that's, the core mechanics seem to be right up my alley, so I'm interested to see how everything plays. But at this point, I mean, because of the aesthetics, because of how cumbersome it is to put on the table and how much space it takes up, I would really have to really like this game to put it into play at this point, if that makes sense. Alright, so there is, as I mentioned in the beginning, there is a ton of other heroes you can play as. Of course, whenever you're talking about Japanese games, you're going to be talking about things like this, which, this doesn't interest me at all. I mean, you do have this super cool, demon character. There is some good stuff with it, but then you have to deal with the crap like this. Like this character running around in her bathing suit is a superhero. Or, you have these other characters. Like, okay, one is the gray rabbit. Okay, sure. I mean, okay. That's not horrible. It's just a little weird. Okay, but then you have this. This is like Melty Sweet is this character's name. I mean, it's like, come on, guys, give me a break. And then, of course, your side characters are going to be the same way. You got your vanilla girl, of course, who dresses up like she's in school 24 hours a day for some reason. I mean, and then you got your regular Joe. Of course, we have to have another one that seems like she's Haikyuu is her name, where she's some kind of a tech artist. And then you have this, blonde bombshell lady. Then you have this guy who's driving a car around. And then you have this Catwoman. And then you have Kevin Parks, which is kind of like a Luke Cage ripoff. And then you have this Smoothie Bear. Like Smoothie Bear, which is supposed to be a space teddy bear. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, it does drive me crazy, to be honest. I have a feeling this game is not going to be in the collection for very long, unfortunately, because I think it might have some pretty cool stuff, but I cannot stand the Japanese trying to make everything all about the cute and fluffy and sexy. That's all they want to deal with, and for me that's not important. So we have a bunch of villains. These are your super villains. There's a bunch of them. Again, really cool looking characters. You do have some cool things. And then you have like this master Gasha lady. Then you have this metallic robot dude. Then you have this cool guy, which I think is supposed to be like Mr. Freeze type guy, who's dressed in like a bikini for some reason. Then you have the Great Sumo, which is just, a huge, big, fat, sumo wrestler dude. So, anyways, good thing I got this game for cheap, and I mean really pretty cheap. So we're gonna try it out and see what it's like, and we're gonna see Viper Dave. What's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? So we're gonna shuffle these up, and then we're gonna put these on the bottom of the deck right there, and then we have our regular villains. Who's are the super villains? We have regular villains here again, all kinds of different ladies dressed in all kinds of different things. You have these wild animals. You have this crazy Joker type character. You have a land shark. I mean, then you have, of course, the Jinx cat, which is like some lady with big boobs and dressed as a cat, and she's a supervillain. Then you have the Ribbon Raider, who is like a ribbon. So there's some really cool ideas, and then there's some really stupid, over-the-top things, and that just drives me crazy about Japanese culture. It really does. It makes it very not interesting to me, and so of all the characters we're going to put our villains on top of the super villains over there. Oh, shoot. We got another one, which I'm going to have to just put over here. It just doesn't really matter as long as they're shuffled up. There we go. We do have our nemesis. There is a normal nemesis, a hard nemesis, and a super hard. We're playing the normal, which is King Koji, which is going to be like a Godzilla type character that we're going to have to defeat. He's got 30 defense and he's got 35 life. We're going to have to remove that in one attack. Yes. Each one of these is like a defensive thing that we must go. So we have to defeat him with 30 points of damage to break through his shield, and then we have to do 35 points of damage in one shot. How are we going to be possibly able to do that, you might wonder? Well, that is a good question. Fortunately for us, we have several things we can do. We can team up in this game, which is kind of the one mechanic that, brings it. It's a cooperative game where you're supposed to work together to try and defeat the villains, which is, okay. A lot of games are like that, but in this game, you really, really need to cooperate because everybody, all your characters, need to go after the supervillain and knock him out, because otherwise you're all going to die a horrible death. Trust me, it's not going to be pleasant. So, the characters we chose are going to be Cyber Tengu. His special ability is when resolving incidents. Incidents are different things that are going to be out on the board that we have to take care of. When resolving incidents, Cyber Tengu can target incidents in adjacent spaces. So he doesn't need to go into each individual space. He can do it adjacently, which is nice. And then his sidekick is going to be Chararu, which is this super dog. And yes, the dog has a mask because he's afraid people might recognize him. I don't get this. I don't get this game, to be honest. I really don't. Chararu. And so his special ability is at the start of your turn, Chararu may take one move action without using any energy once per turn. At the start of your turn, Chararu can take a move action without using energy once per turn. Our second hero, and this hero is specializing in speed. As we talked about, there's speed, there's cunning, and there's power to try and defeat your enemies. He gets, when he plays a speed, he can count that as a double for every one of his single speeds. So, for example, if he was to play a speed and he's attacking somebody, that's 2 damage. If he plays a double, that would be 4 damage. So together, this would be 6 damage that he can do to someone. And of course, as we're trying to level up, we're trying to get better cards in our deck, the +3 and the plus 2s and the +3s. So that is character number 1. Character number 2 is going to be Samuriaman. Yes, Samuriaman. Samuriaman gets X attack, where X is the number of energy cards Samuriaman uses for his attack. So if he uses all 5 cards to attack, he would get +5. So that's pretty good. And he's teamed up with Alpha Kid, who doesn't cost anything for Alpha Kid to make an assemble action. Again, each of the heroes has special abilities. They are level 1, level 2, level 3. You must upgrade them in that order. So for level 1, Samuriaman can get his sword dance. He did not take any damage this turn, so when he upgrades. Level 2, refresh, discard any number of cards from your hand, then draw the same number of cards from your deck. And then the level 3 would be an infinite strength. Draw from your deck until you have 5 cards in your hand. You can do this once per turn. So, pretty good, because he can use up a bunch of his cards, activate his special ability, and then redraw his hand up. So that's pretty good. Each of the heroes, again, has special abilities, and as you upgrade, as we do things, we're going to defeat things on the board. You'll notice there are a bunch of cards on the board here. I know they're hard to see because if you put them down exactly where they should go, you will notice that they kind of blend in to the background exactly where they should be, kind of, sort of. That's what they're supposed to do, which is kind of a nice over-the-top thing. But each of the heroes and sidekicks has a special area they start in. Samuriaman is starting right here. I could put these guys down, maybe. That might even be better. Alpha Man here in Tokyo. We have Chamara, which starts here. We have Cyber Tengu over here. And then for finishing setup, right, so we have this track here. Here is all of our damage tokens, which we will add to our deck when we take damage. And then here is a bunch of more incidents, which will be coming out to cause our pain and suffering. So there are green ones, there are orange ones, and there are red ones. The red ones are critical. You have to get rid of the red ones. At the end of the round, as this thing moves up and then resets, if we have a red one out there when it resets, the red one will get a marker on it. And then the second time, if we go through and we still haven't completed that red one, it will destroy us and we will instantly lose. The yellow ones and the red ones, we will take damage. Each of the heroes will take damage when we reset. Is it reset? Or is it the end of the turn? I'm trying to remember. So we're going to do a standby phase, then we have an action phase, then we have an end phase, occurrences occur, damage is applied. So we will take damage every time. Redraw your hand and then the crime tool control. Alright. Oh my god. Alright, so we're going to put out some more incidents here. We're going to have one in Kanchicho, which is going to be right here coming out. And then eventually we're going to have one in Tokyo coming out. Interesting. Tokyo, he starts in Tokyo, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's going to be pretty good. We got two heroes, or a hero and a sidekick right there. We have a hero and a sidekick right here. We do have this. And then we do need to draw the top villain and put the top villain in. The top villain is 8-Bit Master. He's going to be a white one because he has the white border. And let's see if we can find 8-Bit Master. There he is. So he's going to come into play. Alright. He is going to come out in Ibishu, which is right here actually. Then he has a special ability, Awesome Chemical Weaponry. During the end phase, each of the active player's characters that share a space with 8-Bit Master must take 1 additional damage. Oni and his sidekick do not suffer this damage. That's too bad. So that is when we're supposed to put that up there and make, give it its own special. Alright, so that is pretty much setup is ready to go. We will shuffle our character decks, we'll draw our 5 cards, and we'll be ready to go here in Toyko Sidekick. So as I mentioned, I did choose 2 different characters. He is the blue or speed character, and he is the red and power character. Oh, before we start, I will shuffle and draw, but before I start, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. This is his hand right there. And I'll shuffle Samuriaman. Samuriaman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. So let's talk about the things you can do on your turn. Here are the different actions. Again, every character should have one of these in front of them if we had any space whatsoever. But no, you took up all the space with this massive board for no reason. Number 1, you can move a character. You spend any one of your energy to move a character 1 or 2 spaces. So moving 1, 2, boom, they're done. All right. Charge up. You can take a card from your hand, any color, to draw a card. You can brush up, which is spend a card to discard a card from your hand or discard pile. Resolve is resolving an ability on the board. Each one of these will have a certain number of things you need to do to get rid of it. And this one is the green one. It's very easy. It just takes 1 power to get rid of this one. This one over here needs 1 cunning and 1 of some other kind. So depending on what you need to do to resolve it. Attacking. You can attack. Some of the characters will get bonuses, which we'll talk about when we go to that. Assemble. You spend 1 to bring your sidekick or your hero to one another. So if I wanted to have this character move to here, where the other hero is, I could assemble. And power up is spending your XP at the end of the turn. That's all you can do. Not a lot of things. So let's get to it and try. We're going to start with player 1 over here. Let's look at his hand. He's got 2 speeds, 2 powers, and a concentration. Now the dog actually he's sitting on a location here in Shigomo called Old Person with Bags. Alright, the light is green, hold my arm. So you're helping an old lady across the street. It costs you 1 red power token. Well, guess what? He is going to actually, before I do anything, let me think about what I want to do for the round. I would like to get all news cleared out, to be honest. I would need to spend a purple, a green. Oh no, I can't do them all because I don't have enough of the concentration ones. That's going to cost a concentration one as well. Alright, so what he is going to do is I am going to spend a card to assemble, and I'm going to have Cyber Tengu go to Chararu location. So I'm going to have him just go to that location. They're assembling together. Cost you an energy. All these different cards are considered energy. So that one is spent. I'm just going to put his spent cards right there on the table. Alright, so that is his first action. Second action, he is going to complete the old person with bags in this location. It costs us a power one to take care of this, so he will take care of that one with a power card. So we're going to defeat this. When he defeats it, we get 2 experience tokens, which we're supposed to use. We're supposed to use these tiny little XP tokens and use one of these XP tokens and put it on your little player board and slide it up, which is absolutely got to be the most ridiculous thing ever. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use these little poker chips. So when you defeat a location, you get 2 experience points for that. So 2 experience points for that. Excellent. I'm just going to put the used ones over here. That's fine, I think. Put these over there. Alright, now remember Tengu's special ability is when resolving incidents, Cyber Tengu can target incidents in adjacent spaces. So he doesn't need to move over here to target this one or this one. So what he's going to do is he's going to target this one here, which is the research lab break-in. There's a bigger evil lurking behind these guys. We have to spend a cunning and anything else, so it doesn't matter which one. So I'm just going to spend this one. To defeat this, and once again I'm going to get another 2, which leaves us with just this one we have left. And for that, what I'm going to do, we do have to defeat this jerk eventually, and probably more quicker than you would think, because he's going to damage us every stinking round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the speed to move the dog 1, 2, and that is my turn. My turn is up. I use my cards. I can spend my 4 experience points. So what can I do with my 4 experience points? I can spend 2 experience points to get a ×2 card, one of these ×2. I can spend 3 experience points to get a ×3 card. I can spend 3 experience points to open up our first level of our special ability. And that was, for Tengu, 1, 2, 3 is going to be fast resolution. Cyber Tengu may use spin energy as though it was any kind of energy when resolving an incident. So he can, wait a second. Okay, that's fine. Level 2 is Whirlwind. Move 1 of another player's characters up to 3 spaces. And level 3 is Kamikaze. Choose 1 incident on the map and move Cyber Tengu to it. Then resolve that incident for free. What? Is that crazy? Alright, so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have 4 XP. I am going to purchase, I'm going to purchase a ×2 in blue and a ×2 in blue. And that's going to be all 4 XP. I think getting some cards in your deck are going to be a big boost. So that'll be, and then it'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new cards. He will take damage now because there's one villain out there. He will take a damage and put that into his discard pile as well. We'll draw 5 new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's on to Samuriaman. So Samuriaman and Alpha are very close. So again, ooh, look at this. Lots of blue, or lots of red and green, which is perfect for this. So, I'm going to spend a green to move Samuriaman. 1, 2. He will then spend a power to resolve this card, which is a blackmailing. Only needs 1 red. So he will defeat this. Earn himself 2 experience points. He's got his double here. He will then use his other... He will use his other concentration to move 1 space there. He will then use his double red to defeat the Art Thief at this location here. And earn himself 2 more experience points. Alright, and then, oops, you know what? This should have... let me just make sure. Hang on a second. Yes. At the end of his turn, this should have advanced, and this should have come out to Tokyo. So this one should come right there. Fortunately, I'm standing right there, but unfortunately, I don't have a blue one, so I'm not going to be able to defeat that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to use this last power to move Samuriaman 1, 2 spaces, because somebody's got to get down there and defeat this guy eventually. Alright, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's done. He will spend his 4 experience points again. Just trying to see what he wants to do here. And I think what he's going to do is the same thing. He's going to spend 2 to get this and 2 to get this. And of course he wants the red ones. He is going to take a damage as well. He's going to spend his 4 experience points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll draw 5 cards. This will move up and this moves over. Hang on a second. I think this moves here. Then when this moves here, this comes out, I guess. Alright, so we got the... ooh, this is way up over there. We got the Kazu Turf War. Ooh, boy. Actually, instead of sending Samuriaman that way, I'm going to send him this way. Because he's going to take care of that next turn, I think. Alright. So he's going to take a damage from this guy at the end of the round. Alright. Then we reset. We will draw one of these. We will draw one of these for the next round. We will also move our damage token down. If the damage token ever gets to 15, we lose. It's going to go down a number of yellow or red locations, which is going to be this one right here. So 1 spot down. I don't think villains count for that, but let's see. Let's just double check. The villains don't count for that. Alright, the red instants become critical. Right. Oh, right. So this is now a critical event because we didn't take care of it. If somebody doesn't take care of it this turn, it's going to be game over for us. Wow. This could be a very short game. Very short game. Alright, we'll put that token there. The other thing I was checking to see is if the bosses count apply any CT icons on the enemy cards. Move the destruction marker one space along for each of the yellow and red incidences that are left unresolved in the map. If the marker ever reaches the 15, the heroes lose the game. Red incidents become critical and new enemies show up. Reveal a card from the enemy deck and place it in an empty space at the top of the board. Slide that character's figure into a clear character base instead. Well, okay. So, we have a new enemy that has showed up. And this is going to be Shot Geisha. Shot Geisha is coming here. There we go. There's Shot Geisha. She has arrived. Akasaka. Akasaka. Alright, so we got to find Akasaka. Somewhere out there in there is Asaka Saka. Nope, that's Saku. Akasaka. Akasaka, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Right here. Alright, so she arrives right there. When a character stops in the same space as Shot Gasha, they must immediately discard one energy card of their choice from their hand. Oh boy. So she has arrived. That's not good. We have a critical event down here which we need to get rid of this turn or it's game over. Alright, and what do we have? We have 5 stinking cards to take care of this card. And so, Hero Yelp. At the start of your turn, Chamaru can make a move action without using energy. 1, 2. So that's a free action to move, which might save our bacon because I'm going to have to spend 1 to move here to have him move 2 more spaces. 1, 2. Then I'm going to assemble by spending an energy and having him come here. Boom. And then his special ability is he can do resolve incidents in adjacent spaces. So he's going to resolve this incident, spending this 2 blue to resolve this incident, which is going to earn him 2 XP. Oh, before he assembles, he's going to spend this concentration to take care of this. Boom. Earn 2 XP. Then he's going to assemble. Then he's going to spend the double to resolve this, which is going to earn him 2 more XP. Hopefully you're following along what I'm doing here. And then I got 1 more card, so we're going to move 1, 2. Move the dog, and well, I saved our bacon there a little bit. That's crazy. 4 more XP. 4 more XP to spend. All right. This is going to get out of control here. Out of control. Like, really quickly, it's going to be out of control. Okay. 4 XP. You can hold on to your XP. You don't have to spend it. He is going to spend it on... He's going to spend 3 and get his special ability here. So you can use blue energy. You can use blue cards if it was anything just to resolve the the events that are on the board. So you can use it as a green or a red. So that is pretty good. So that costs 3. So he's got 1 XP. I'm just going to leave that XP right there. He's going to take 2 damage. 2 damage from the 2 villains that are still on the board. This is going to go downhill really quickly as I see, like, what in the hell? How are you even going to be able to do anything? We're taking care of the incidents pretty good, though. At the end of his turn, this comes out. I have a Lost Child and Ibusi. Ibusi? Ibusi. Which is going to be down here, actually. Right here. Well, that's convenient. Oh, shit. And then this one's going to come out right there. So we got to head over to get her. We also would like to take care of this other event over there. And, of course, we're getting nothing but damage tokens in our deck now, which is going to make things really not good for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Although we do have some more powerful cards in our deck now. All right. Samuriaman. You have your 5 cards. Yes. We've got 3 blue, a red, and a green. All right. Well, we need the red to defeat that. So I'm going to spend a speed to move 1, 2. Then a red and a blue. No. A red and a green to defeat the Ikuzu Turf War. That's 2 XP for him. So that's those 2. I got 2 left. I'm going to use 1 to defeat this, which is a blue in the Giving Directions. 2 more XP. And I have 1 remaining, which again will be to move 1, 2. That's it. He's going to take, again, 2 damage. 1, 2. If you run out of damage, it's game over. You're supposed to be 20, but you can play on normal level, which gives you 25. I left it on normal level for 25. And 4 XP. He's going to take 2 damage. You know what he's going to do? He's actually going to spend 3 XP to upgrade his first level. Do not take any damage this turn. Ha ha ha. So he's not going to take that damage. He's going to have 1 XP left over. And we're going to put this out. These should probably be coming out at the beginning of the round, though. Because if I put that out now, it's just going to count against us, right? And I haven't had even a chance to deal anything with it. Hang on, let me see what I'm doing wrong here. What am I doing wrong? What say you? What am I doing wrong? You have the action phase, right? Right, okay. Action phase, right? Lots of action phase, right? Right, how to do attacks. Then we have the end phase. First, move the crisis marker 1 space to the left. Then take the incident card below the crisis marker and put it on its corresponding map space. Do not draw another incident card to replace the one you took. Then take damage. Any enemies on the board. Blah, 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 blah. Then redraw your hand. At this point, if you're on a yellow space, nothing happens. If you need to reset, move the destruction marker. Yeah, so it's like, okay, so if we do it in that order, like we then put this out, this is going to go right here, right? Then he would take his damage. So we move it. 1, 2. Then next turn we move it back. I think maybe that's what I'm missing, right? I think I'm screwing myself, to be honest. Right? It should be move the crisis marker 1 space to the left. Take the incident card and put it in its map space. Then take damage, then redraw your hand. Then, if at the point the crisis token is on a red space, then you must follow the crime top space. Right, okay, so... Right, so we should be here. Next turn, it's going to go back here. All right, and that's what I screwed up last time. Last time, I didn't give us that. I pushed it, and pushed it right back. So, it should be, like, hero activates, does this thing, go there. Hero activates, does this thing, goes there. And then we have another turn before it goes back here. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that's the way it's supposed to be. I could be wrong. Who knows? But I believe that is true. That is, I believe, true. So, Toyko Sidekick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he's got 2 damage markers. And 3 stinking cards. So, this is not a great hand, as you can possibly see. But the dog gets to move for free. Right? Which is good. Let's see what his special ability is. Oh, you're going to take an extra damage if you share a space with him. That's fine. What we're going to have to do is do some damage to him. So, he moves here for free. That's free. Then what we're going to do is, if we assemble, let me think about this. If we assemble, that would put him in that space. He would be able to do, okay, let me think. Are we going to be able to do it? I think we can. We won't be able to take care of this event, but that's okay. We will at least damage the 8-bit master enough that... Well, all right. What I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to take a quick break. No, that's not the right one. That's not the right one either. Huh. When I have to take a quick break, I will be back shortly. Let's just everyone get something to drink. And you know what I'll do is I will be back for part 2 in a minute. Let's just try that because we've been going for like an hour. This way I'm not rushed. So we'll be back for part 2 in just a few minutes. Just got to do something real quick and then I'll be back.